Right, hello. Welcome to the Memorial Day stream. So, I want to kind of preface this by saying if you have someone to hang out with, family or whatnot, please go see them first. You guys can always watch the VOD later, but today should be a day for hanging out with family and friends. So, oh man. Memorial Day is one of those days that kind of hits a bit harder than normal due to the fact that my grandfather actually was a war veteran, or is a war veteran. He's not passed away. Don't worry about that. But I have an immense level of respect for people who especially got drafted and did not have a choice in the matter. Alright, let's see. Check all blocks. Dispatch. Good deep. There we go. So, primarily, what today is going to be full of for this is fishing and grilling, like Memorial Day should have. So, let me go out. Let me grab... Just to kind of reinforce that, I am going to put away everything else. Meat. Barbecue spit. And let's grab ourselves all sorts of bait. Frogs won't do anything, actually, so... Let's see here. Wetfish bait, yep, sure. Tuna bait. Golden fish, burst. Alright. There we go. Yeah. So, I haven't had coffee today. I'll be a little bit less talkative, but it is definitely something to be said about honoring those that have actually, you know, died for this country. So, I have an immense level of respect for them. Hey, Boogie. Just for today, you're not the God Emperor, alright? But you are a good pig. Good Boogie. Alright. Let's get the show on the road. First thing to do is go to base camp. And once we get to base camp, we'll be able to get through this. Give me a second. A buddy of mine's actually calling me. Oh, man, this is crazy. Hey, what's up, dude? Mm-hmm. No, I actually don't have anything going on today. I was gonna stream, and then around 3 o'clock I was gonna go to, my grandparents to eat dinner. You invite me to the cookout, brother. Oh, okay. Well. No, I'm not going to be able to then, if that's going to be how it's working. It's fine. But, other way. Yeah, I am streaming and then going to my grandparents, but the stream is one of those like really chill streams where it's just grilling and fishing because, you know, Memorial Day. I will. Alright, man. Talk to you later. Ah, jeez. Burnt the first meat. That was my, future editor. Whenever things actually start picking up for me, to the point where I need an editor. Good friend of mine. Good person, too. There we go. I just love their little dances whenever you grill properly. They're just so ecstatic.
So tasty.
You know, besides, you know, grilling and fishing in this game, what other things could I do that would be befitting? I don't know. Typically, Memorial Day is all about making sure that you remember the ones that have been lost, and frankly, I'd like to talk about a couple of things like that. I've heard horror stories of the Vietnam War, and it got me thinking, these people were the age that I was whenever I went to college, and they had to go through hell and back for nothing more than a number got brought up. Or they felt so strongly that they should, that they actually would go ahead and try, you know? But if anyone in the stream actually has any stories about that they'd like to talk about, I'm all ears.
So tasty.
It's like I said, fishing and grilling is the name of this stream. I might do some hunts, depending on, you know, public opinion and whatnot. Let's see, make a fishing play. Let's hit him with a worm. Gosh, how many women have I hit with a worm? The answer is not many. Bobfish, nice. But yeah, so whenever it comes down to it, just a chill stream, you know. Popular demand will absolutely make it so that I go and do a hunt. But in the meantime, this is what I'm doing. And by popular, I mean percentage-wise. Not, oh hey, one person said this, I'm not going to do it until X amount of people say this. No. The first person to put it in there, it's like, oh hey, go fight God. Alright, well, looks like we're swapping the Elden Ring, I guess. But, just one of those days where you want to relax, and actually, I think I've got some beer that I might actually go and pick up out of the fridge. Oh, I got some Not Your Father's root beer, and that's some good stuff. It's a alcoholic root beer, and man, does that stuff taste great. You know, as much as I would hope, I don't exactly have a grill to go ahead and grill some steaks or something like that. It's a shame. I did pan-sear some steaks last night, and oh, dude, that came out so well. Oh, just perfect medium rare. The fat was rendered. The Maillard reactions were in there. It was juicy. Had a nice, nice bark on it. Well, bark. It's the grill marks, you know. Made some fond on the bottom of the pot. honestly, now that I think about it, wish I deglazed that with a little bit of vinegar and tossed some onions and bell peppers in there. That would have been fantastic. Maybe a bit of, like, Worcestershire sauce. I'll have to try that out later. There are amazing things you can do with food, and all of it's basically just science, right? It's science you can eat, and I mean, whenever I get told, no, you shouldn't lick the rock, I kind of want to lick the rock, right? Yeah, I know that thing is full of hydrochloric acid, but it might taste pretty good. Just saying. Am I gonna try it? Maybe later. But in the meantime, it's just... Oh man, science you can taste is fantastic. That's why I'm so fascinated with brewing, actually. There's a video game that I was absolutely planning on streaming and doing a video on where you go ahead and you have the entire setup. You say how much mash you want, how many hops, and you go through the entire brewing process, and I feel like that would be a... Yes, the rock is extra flavor. Yeah, the game that I'm thinking of would be a great just chill day, nothing really too fantastic going on. It would be beautiful. And frankly, I love brewing, so, I mean, it would be an opportunity to brush up on my skills. How you doing, Brick? And yes, I know who you are. I'm calling you by Brick because that's what's in the chat. It's been, what? Ooh, since Friday? Oh gosh, that was... feels like a week ago now. Well, see, that's not brewing, though. That's distilling. And with moonshine, if you don't cool the coils, you're gonna have an explosion on your hands, man. Good to hear, dude. Oh, 10:30, there's gonna be a poll coming out. And it'll ask, like, what y'all want from my editing style. Just answer as truthfully between the three options you have. Tomorrow, however, we'll start to show you that, like, what exactly I've been working on. And I promise you, the content is spicy. I'm pretty sure it's gonna get age restricted. If it doesn't, then, oh boy, YouTube is dumb. Because, that's some rough. Oh, you're in South Carolina. Oh, dude. I love that place, man. A lot of those beautiful mountains, unfortunately, they're covered to the brim with kudzu, right? You're right next to the shore. You can go there. It's more than a spicy meatball. It's more like a, oh my lord, he actually said that type thing. And repeat that about, like, 10 times, right? Oh, dude. It's gonna be beautiful. As a hint, one of the more tame things I say on there is, I'm going to shove this sword so far up your ass that you'll be able to tell who I killed yesterday. And that is the probably tamest thing we say there. It'll be mostly uncensored. A couple words have to be, and then a couple extra have to be to throw you two off my trail, because if they say, hey, you are censoring bad words. You can't say these bad words on stream. And I'm like, or on video. I'm like, no, 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 no. See right there? I censored the word boy. So you don't know what I'm censoring. And that'll work. Make a compilation of DM? What do you mean, a compilation of DM? Oh, of them. Okay, that might be it. Oh, and you're talking about, South Carolina, I assume. I'm not too sure. Either way, a short's coming out tomorrow with some of the more edited, features. So, I think the video is currently up to, like, 15 minutes now. And as soon as we hit the next benchmark in said video, I'm going to be calling it there, and that'll be where I end the video. But I just want to make the best content as I can, and especially for my degenerates from iFunny. Because those guys are... those guys are completely random. I didn't know them before starting this channel. So I hope they enjoy the spicy meatball, you know? Well, I mean, same here. My idea is the only reason I take pictures is if I'm worried about forgetting it, or if I am absolutely sure someone else would like it. Otherwise, if I can't remember it, it's probably not worth remembering. You know, it's an active thing of, hey, I want to remember, so therefore, forget means that I lost that active, hey, I want to remember. These armorfish morsels are going to come in handy, though. These are actually trade goods in this game, and you can just actually trade these for different materials. 2, 3. Yep, there we go. I don't know. So I need to play around with the settings. The delay that is in the stream could be less. And on a couple streams, I'm going to test it out, because I want to get back to y'all whenever y'all comment on the stream as fast as possible, right? Like, it's my duty as a content creator to at least engage with the audience, and whenever they say something, listen, you know? Unless, of course, it's just herder kill yourself, yada yada yada. In which case, I won't listen to you, but I will take that comment and use it for our 100 sub special. And this will be the first hint of that. Yeah, I'm doing a 100 sub special. The second I hit 100 subs, y'all are getting some of the most interesting content I had available from this whole ordeal on Friday. And I've continued to post on iFunny, too. I posted one more time on iFunny after the meme got banned. I'm so happy. My degenerates all paired together and just banned black-holed the actual post. Someone sent me the rat video. Someone just... There were so many good comments. I was rolling on the floor laughing. But they did a fantastic job over there. But no, every hate comment that I get will be in that video. That is true. Is that what normally stream delays are for? is multiplayer FPSs. I thought it was some sort of like graphical intensity thing or whatnot. Or it improves the quality of the stream. I mean, I have no bloody clue because I've, frankly, only started this a little bit ago. So, I'm learning. I mean, my first stream on this game was absolutely atrocious. It looks like somebody just fogged up the glass of the camera and would not wipe it whatsoever because I didn't know what a bitrate was. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. But yeah. If that's the case, I mean, might as well just lower the delay to 0 if I can, right? No need to have y'all waiting for me to respond to you. Look at that. I am getting hungrier and hungrier by the second in this game. Soon I'm gonna have no stamina. Eh, it's fine. I've got a bunch of meat. I'm sure it's pretty negligible. I might have like a little bit of stream delay, like maybe a second or two, just for, oh hey, it's got, you know, it's got to upload and whatnot. But in the meantime, it's just, screw it, right? I want to talk with the people. The people tell me what I should be doing and how to improve. I need to listen to the people. People also tell me that I'm gay, so maybe I shouldn't listen too well. So you had to get up and go to South Carolina after all that, huh? That is absolutely insane. I will say one of these days we will have to get a drink together, because I did promise you that while I was still your coworker. Yeah, exactly. Don't call me a gay rat when you've sent the rat video. I mean, what do you expect? I don't have to listen to you. What's another really good one? Oh, one person called me Swagger Stinks, and I thought that was hilarious, because everyone was just like, oh, you're a Swagger Souls, clone. I'm like, no, I'm legally distinct. Left for an 8 p.m. job for 14 hours. Ugh, that's gross. You with family, or what? I mean, that's a bit insane of a drive. I mean, I take that drive to go see my mother, I guess, so. But it's a bit rough. Come on. Yeah! I love fishing. MILF. Man, I love fishing. Well, that's good. You're choosing to interact with the stream instead of hang out with your family. Damn, that's sad. Well, I guess you're not interacting with quote-unquote the stream. You're interacting with me, and, from what I've heard, yeah, I heard y'all got a bunch of, shipments in of a certain product that sucks to make. And, frankly, I do not blame you for just, alright, I've got a little break right now, let's go. Let's not deal with this. I guess 10 o'clock is considered the morning, huh? Gosh, I've been streaming during the day. This is weird, man. Well, today was a purposeful I'm streaming during the day because I want people to hang out with their families, right? But tomorrow the stream will actually be later at night. So look out for, I believe it was 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Yeah, I know. So much that y'all were thinking of hiring me as part-time for it. Yeah, I know. And while I absolutely would, I mean, I guess I've got a new job? Question mark? I mean, I'd love to help y'all for like 10, 15 hours a week. That could be managed. Oh yeah, it's almost lunchtime for you, huh? That is fair. Oh, almost missed that fish. Let's go. I always... I love these fishing minigames in Monster Hunter. However, Monster Hunter Wilds has the best one. You have to reel in what's called a whopper, which is a huge fish. And, oh, it's so interactive. You actually get the feeling that you're wrangling in this gigantic monstrosity of a fish, or a squid for that matter. And it's so interesting. They did a great job with the gameplay of that game. I just really wish they had a bit more. Maybe I've been spoiled because I played Generations Ultimate recently, and it's... Oh gosh, is that chock-a-block... Oh, well, rip. Is that chock-a-block full of content? I think I've gotten, what, 300 hours in that save file, and I still haven't beaten it? Mostly because I just want to, you know, play the game and progress naturally. Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. And it's on me. Don't worry about that. I said it would be on me. So, enjoy that. And happy belated birthday, by the way, on that one. Ooh. So, I know you've been drinking before the legal drinking age. What is your favorite drink? Because I know a lot of people drink beer over here, but I'm always a fan of mixed drinks. Specifically, amaretto sours are my go-to. Either that or Irish car bombs, which I don't know if I can say that on YouTube, but fuck them. B-52 shots are also really good. It's Kahlua, Bailey's, and Grand Marnier all layered. That's some good stuff. Oh, what fish is that max? So I should really stop going for those. How much do I have in armorfish morsels? Those have got to be pretty good. But yeah. Amaretto sours, I believe it's simple syrup, amaretto, and pineapple juice. And typically I add a maraschino cherry to that, and that makes it so good. Vodka. Yeah, vodka mixed with 7-Up or Sprite is not exactly what I would call a mixed drink for the ages. Oh gosh, now that I think about it, oof, I had one of the worst nights of my life with Sprite and vodka and all of that. I had 14 shots in 10 minutes. They were like, oh hey, you can drink alcohol really fast. Why don't you pour it half and half of vodka and Sprite and take it as a shot? And so me, not knowing what the word limit meant, went ahead and did that. And it went down smooth, so I was like, okay, let's mix half and half vodka and orange juice. And that went down smooth. And I finished those quote-unquote shots out of a bloody solo cup faster than everybody else took their regular shots. Needless to say, I turned Scottish for the entire night, woke up with a hangover, but was not nauseated, thankfully. And, terrified everyone by the fact that I refused to die from that. Well, I mean, some of them were happy to see me, but, you know, those guys don't have a good judgment, I gotta say that. Glutton tune is at maximum, okay. Just raw fish. Oh, well, that doesn't do anything. Yeah, sure, let's eat the burnt meat, see if I can hurt myself even further. Nope. Nope, that's good. Yeah. Grilling, fishing, brother. What a great day. What a great day for Memorial Day, you know? Beautiful. Actually, I am going to a barbecue later with my, my family, so that'll be around, like, 2 or 3. So, the question of the matter is, what do you guys want to see? Like, any game recommendations? Yeah, if you've gotta drive, please don't drink too much. I know you're going to drink still, but don't drink too much. Whenever I used to work at a bar, I drove home one day absolutely plastered. And I got home completely safe. Didn't remember getting there, and I was like, wow. I have a great autopilot, don't I? And the autopilot being me just not focusing on driving and being able to do whatever, right? So, no, I'm not surprised. So, game recommendations. One person told me that I need to play Monster Hunter 1, full PS controller and all, like original controller and original scheme of attacking with the right joystick and moving with the D-pad. Which sounds like a horrid experience, and it probably will be. But I'm gonna do it because it was a request. Another person was saying, Dig a Hole with Friends was one that they recommended. I'm probably going to do some Dark Souls 3 playthroughs, maybe. Play some Ultra Kill? Alright, buddy. I've been getting into that type of hack and slash recently with, with this weekend's videos game. This weekend's videos game. I am your father's, cousins, uncles, dogs, babysitters, whatever. What does that make you? Absolutely nothing. Which is what you're about to be. No, but Ultra Kill, I can absolutely do that. Every time Gabriel you know what? I'm gonna look up the voice actor for Gabriel, see if I can't mimic his voice at least to a decent degree, and play like that. I could absolutely do that. Or if there's another character that I like more than Gabriel, I will absolutely do so. I can't promise P ranks. Because, in the immortal words of me, I'm bad. I am bad at game. Ghost Runner? I mean, that's interesting. Gianni? Okay. Gianni is who I'll have to look up. Ghost Runner. I've not heard of that one yet. But, I mean, I've been playing Darktide, so whenever it comes down to it, sensory overload is actually getting much easier for me. I've been able to tell audio cues apart a lot. Visual stuff is really the only issue, you know, first person being first person, first person being first person and all, it's a bit rough. Oh, as soon as the Dagoth mod actually comes out for Skyrim, I am absolutely playing a playthrough of Skyrim with Dagoth. Look, all I need is a man in a loincloth and a mask to call me Nerevar, and that's my day made. It's as simple as that. Just so long as he doesn't give me one of his sweet rolls. One hit mode? Oh, that's a bit rough. I'm not surprised, though. Oh, I did want to do some Valheim, eventually. That'll have to be one of those challenge run type videos. Because otherwise, it's just going to be too easy. Especially now that I know what to do in Valheim. Considering I've been playing it for... Oh, gosh, how many hours did I put into that game? I think it was 200 plus? That was over the course of, like, a couple weeks? While I was still employed? Which is absolutely disgusting. I know that, my boss and one of my other coworkers was very scared to hear that I put so many hours in every time. But Market Gardener Trollger? You want me to play Trollger? Alright, I got TF2 downloaded. I'll do it. But I'm more of a heavy main, funnily enough. Heavy, I like playing medic sometimes, because then you can deny heals to people if you don't like them. Or just for, you know, comedic effect of, screw you, dude. Demo night is really fun for me. But melee is kind of my forte in every game. 2, 3. Yep, there we go. What's another one? Pyro is also sometimes fun, but the issue is everyone wants me to use the flog. And I just look at them and I'm like, no, I love air blasting rockets back at people. What do you think I'm going to do? Whenever I can completely invalidate an entire an entire class, yeah, I'm going to keep that ability. Best. Yeah, the weeb class? No thanks. Also, I don't want to be French. That's awful. What type of experience do you want me to give my viewers? Just, ho ho ho, oui oui, on baguette. Look at me, I do not wash myself. Like, what? I must smell the cork of the bottle, even though I am homeless and I'm subsisting off of government cheese. I must have wine with my government cheese. Yeah, no thanks. I'll be Scottish. I'll be Russian. I'll be German. I'll be whatever in the world Pyro is. I'll be American with Soldier, absolutely. But at the same time... What? I mean, I could be from Boston and play the Scout, but that's not really my playstyle of run in and out and hit and run tactics. Ah, Huntsman Sniper. You want me to be an Aussie? Ugh. Yeah, you know what? I'll duck around a corner, fire an arrow, and then just not even look at them while the arrow hits them and see them dead in the kill feed. That sounds like an enjoyable experience for everyone. Either that, or I could play a, there's a certain Pyro setup where no one can tell what team you're on because you have so little red or blue. And if you're on red team, you can use a blue chroma for one of the flamethrowers, and it really looks like you're a blue pyro, and that is just disgusting. But funny Look, if I want funny ragdoll, I'll play Skyrim as a giant. Thank you very much. That actually sounds like a lot of fun. Oh, I do have a mod that I need to download for Fallout 4. If it would stop crashing on me, and that will be an interesting playthrough, because I'm planning on doing a full video on that. But, you guys won't get to know that until, you know, I decide what to do, because I don't want to spoil too much, but I want to get a little bit of intrigue, you know? MK Ultra type psychological manipulation happening over here on this stream. Oh, jeez. There are so many things that just have baffled me about this week, and I'm so appreciative of everyone. But you guys have heard me say that so many times, especially in less of a coherent mental state as well. But I mean every word of it. Bro, stop itching and just push it through. Hey! I can't. Because I'd have to stream it, maybe. No, I'll keep streaming certain games that require a bit of chat interaction. I could do it. I'd have to see if the mod breaks Fallout 4 even further, because Bethesda's engine sucks eggs. So I've gotta figure out if it'll even work, and I need to find the mod that actually would do it. Not edging this one, there's a plan for a Baldur's Gate 3 run where I and the characters in it are plastered the entire time. Or at least a video where that happens. Maybe a stream. Maybe for 200 subs, I'll do the plastered drunk Baldur's Gate 3 stream. Might be joined with some friends for that one as well. If I can manage to, you know, find any. Another set of content in the works. Oh, I actually did get in touch with a game development company. And I've got two friends who work in the video game industry. One works in the video game industry, and another works for, or is working towards, a computer science degree for video game design. No. The everything is dictated by AI is its own separate thing. That's gonna be fun. But I want to be sober for that, so I can look at it, or at least, you know, not plastered. I want to be at least a little bit coherent to have the mentality of, what in the world is going on? Oh, that's gonna be a beautiful, beautiful experience for everyone involved. 2, 3. Yep, there we go. Honestly, what I could do is I could include the randomizer mod for Baldur's Gate 3 and truly have it be a hellacious experience for everyone. 2, 3. Yep, there we go. Oh man, what's another game that I was thinking of doing? I mean, for streams, Risk of Rain 2 is one of those that I've thought of, and I like the idea of it. Hades 2, whenever that game fully comes out, I'm going to be starting a separate save file and going with an entire series of that. That'll be fun. But I've also had the epiphany of, yeah, YouTube monetization is not gonna do much, to be completely fair, because of how many videos of mine will get age restricted. Just 'Cause 3. I've never actually enjoyed the Just 'Cause series. I'm sorry. I can't believe I'm saying that, because it's one of those where you would think it would be so fun for me to play them, but there's something about it. It's like playing maybe it's the graphics. Maybe the graphics aren't goofy enough for my, rotted brain cells. Maybe no funny color, right? Oh, speaking of which, the poll is up on YouTube for how you guys want my editing style, so be sure to check that out in the meantime. What else is there? Let's see. There's the brewing game. Ale and Tail Tavern was one that I was told about, and I've actually enjoyed the concept of it, where you're running a tavern. Yeah, goofy Roblox. How fast can I get banned in Roblox? Actually, does a Roblox account cost anything? I could do that. I could yell at children the most heinous stuff. That kind of doesn't fit with my idea of, hey, these kids shouldn't be corrupted, right? Maybe I could do something a bit lighter than... I could play VR as, what's his name? Ah, shoot. Oh, I could play as Alucard from Hellsing Ultimate Abridged, because, I'm not your mother last night! And frankly... Wait, why am I messing that up already? I'm not apologizing. Either way, it's a British vampire. Says stuff like, I'm going to fuck the fear turkey. I could do a lot of voices. There could be a stream where I do voices. And just mess with people, maybe in VR chat. That would be an interesting conundrum. I'd love to see that. Well, I'm messing it up because I'm trying to go into Alexander Anderson. So many things I could do. I've got an endless just box of opportunity to just, dive into. Diving into a box. Fun. VR chat shenanigans. My only issue is that VR chat just makes me sick. There's so many people with their anime PFPs. It's that dumb, what do you call it? There's a dumb, cat boy thing, that everybody uses, the doomer guy. At least if you're gonna play VR chat, go as a brick shithouse, right? Like, make yourself look brolic. Thank you very much. Oh, man. This is interesting, because all this said and done, I'm still just incredibly appreciative of everything. But I have so many opportunities. I don't know what I could do, right? Or could not do, maybe would be a good idea. Better words. Better pizza, Papa John's. Yes, I am well equipped for brain rot. Thank you very much. It's another game that I've enjoyed recently. All sorts of things. I've been getting into more multiplayer matchmaking games, mostly because that's what my friends have been into recently. As much as I hate to say it, that kind of limits a lot of different games. We have some modded repo content coming out eventually. There's so much, so much. Let's see. Let me check my Steam list real quick. Oh, Pal World. Pal World is one of those where I really could do some good stuff with that. Enshrouded once it's released. Borderlands, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Oh. Planet Crafter could be one where it's just a fun stream, right? But there are so many options, and I enjoy the idea of all of them. It's interesting because I typically play on controller, and if a game doesn't have controller support, I have to relearn mouse and keyboard every time. That's what made the first repo video. My gameplay was absolute trash, mind you. Because I was trying to play on a controller at first. I was trying to set up like macros and what like that to work. And eventually I just said, screw it, and started learning keyboard and mouse. I missed a fish. That's sad. What other games could they be? Moonlighter is one that I enjoyed way back in the day. It's a short, simple game, so maybe just a solo game. Well, it's got to be solo gameplay. But just a short, sweet, like 10-15 minute video out of that. And that would be great. But all of these will be there in due time. Every Saturday I should be posting one video, and it's one of those videos where I'm going to try my heart out to make it the most enjoyable experience for everyone, make it engaging for you brain-rotted. The audience retention thing is disgusting. Hyperline Drifter. Yeah, I've seen that game around. I never really picked it up. Neon something? There's a game called Neon something, and I think that was around the same time as Hyperline Drifter that I was looking at. I have Disco Elysium, if anyone's actually interested in that. The issue is the solo gameplay has to be able to fit a narrative of sorts. Because once I start getting into the video, that's what hooks people in, is narrative, right? They have to be interested in what is actually going on. But without narrative, you kind of just have the audience retention rates drop like flies. And mind you, my audience retention rates are awful, but I only started a couple weeks ago? Now? A little bit over 2 weeks ago? So I think I'm doing fine for a new channel. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, tell me in the comment section. But I mean, who knows? I don't know what the algorithm do. Apparently that repo video, the IRS one, stealing for the IRS, caught so much traction even before iFunny got here. But I'm actually looking to be one of the first proper gameplay channels that is active on iFunny and YouTube. Which will be so nice, because I can post the truly horrendous content on iFunny. And you know, sure, it'll get banned, but fuck it, it's iFunny, right? I was still so surprised about the first post being able to gain that much traction in collective. Like, what? You guys are nut jobs. I love you. But not in a gay way. More like a you're in the middle of the night and you see me staring over you, breathing heavily and stroking your face type of love. You know, psychopathic love, right? Y'all are into that, right? Yep, that's what Featured's been telling me. Y'all want a yandere. I know it. It's the only person that could convince you that, they love you, right? Oh man, fishing. How many armorfish morsels do I have? Oh. Let's see. I have 46. 46 morsels. Alright. The hive mind is real, but it's not as bad as, say, like Twitter or anything like that. It's much more along the lines of... I don't even want to say Reddit, because Reddit's so heavily moderated. It's one of the last few bastions of free speech that I know of, and I truly appreciate it. I mean, hell, my main account has like 2,500 days on it. It makes me sad that I haven't been able to, you know, use my regular account, because I have to use the new account to manage what I post there. And so I'm not getting the days that I thought I would on it, and that kind of makes me sad, but let me check it out. Yeah, the second post didn't get as much traction, but it wasn't nearly as rage baity, so, you know, you take it and lose it. And what a no life. Why am I here? Bruh, that's what I'm saying. I'm sitting here fishing in a video game to what looks like 2 live human people. And every once in a while it'll bump up to 3. Don't get me wrong. So, did you have anyone in your family to remember this Memorial Day? Because I have my great-grandfather who was a World War II veteran. I believe he was in the Air Force back when it was still respectable. I could be wrong about that, and I feel bad about being wrong about that. Actually, both of my great-grandparents, great-grandfathers, the other 2 died in accidents, so I never knew them, unfortunately. But whenever it comes down to it, it was just... my grandfather has told me stories of his buddies and what they went through, and that... it's truly horrendous, so... my condolences go out to anyone who actually has had family, pass away during service. A great-grandfather in Vietnam, huh? So he was like 30 or 40 whenever he went into service? That is interesting. World War II was my great-grandfather. And frankly, I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong, war is based. But war is based when it meant something, right? And unfortunately, nowadays, everything is dictated by oil. Just because I said that, America's probably going to join the chat and, you know, start using the hawk screech. Or eagle screech. Putting flags in there. I'm going to have my entire... I'm going to have my stream rated by America because I said the word oil. Two, 3? Yep, there we go. A lot of this game has counting in it, which is funny to me because every once in a while I'll start counting, and every time all I can think of is the unnecessary censorship video of the count from from Sesame Street, and that, oh, I've died laughing so many times to that. Eagle screech, raw! You know? America, fuck yeah. We actually have our first American Pope, too. He's from Chicago, but apparently his mother is from New Orleans. Or his mother's family is from New Orleans, which is an interesting one. Like, I wonder if he gives them mass, and it's just, dear Heavenly Father, hallowed be thy name. Thy name? What am I, British? Ugh. No, America. Fuck yeah. You ever been beaten by a wet spaghetti noodle because your girlfriend has a twin sister and you got confused and fucked her dad? That's what it's like to drive a Ford truck. Man, nothing will hurt nearly as much as learning that Ron Swanson's voice actor, or well, actor rather, was just a liberal. Like, that absolute beacon of conservative nature, and just nothing. Just nothing. It's sad. Truly. Oh gosh, what else? What else? I mean, it's like the adult equivalent of finding out that Santa isn't real is finding out that the stripper pole spins on its own. And they're not actually spinning around there. But I mean, to be fair, if they were spinning around there, could you imagine the sound? Like, just the sound of skin being dragged down on a pole or spun around a pole the entire time. No wonder the music would have to be so loud. And the chafing would be awful. They would have to, I don't know. There'd have to be so many things to go right for that to even work out as a business model. It's just, yeah, every actor is all about themselves. That's what pisses me off about, like, the Spotify ads where Ryan Reynolds is on Mint Mobile. And I'm like, okay, shut up with your, what is it called? Some type parasocial relationship thing. And he even admits, it's like, oh yeah, have your assistant's assistant change you over to Mint Mobile. I'm like, oh, come on, piss off, dude. Like, you're funny enough, but not funny enough for this. It's like, now that I've learned about what Tyler Perry did with all of his actors and stuff like that, the Medea's movies are still hilarious to me, but just not quite the same. Oh. Oh, we're down to one person now. Wow, that was quick. And I'm alone again. Thankfully, fishing is fun, though. I love fishing. I love my pooter. All my friends are in my pooter. All my friends are hanging out, you know, chilling in my pooter. Sometimes they wiggle around a bit, but, you know, I can hear them. That's all. It's deep in my ear, you know, because of the earphones, but they're all in my pooter. Oh, jeez. It's a shame there are no good shows out. I've been thinking about rewatching Codename Kids Next Door just because I've been thinking about that show so often. Truly a masterpiece of childhood cartoons. Same thing with like Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. The meme potential of that show was fantastic, and I'm so glad the internet started catching on. Courage the Cowardly Dog is a lot more enjoyable as an adult, though, now, because, frankly, as a kid, it terrified me whenever I didn't know that these things couldn't exist. I mean, everyone had the instance of waking up in a cold sweat, remembering, return the slab. Yes, Samurai Jack is a masterclass of showing what minimalism can do for a cartoon. Oh, one of the other ideas I had was doing a watch party. Or I guess not a watch party, but playing the class of '09 with my friends and bringing every decision to a vote and seeing what outcome we get. Because no matter what, the outcome's bad, but it depends on what humor we want to go for. Like, the two options for one of the choices is try lesbianism before college or make a gay girl cry, and I'm like, oh, that would be so fun to just have a bunch of morons decide, okay, how do we ruin this person's life the most? Because we are in control now, and they're a terrible person. But back to Samurai Jack, I mean, that is one voice I can do. It is Aku, the ultimate evil, and the foolish samurai challenges me. We're gonna miss you, Mako. Lovely dude. Leaves from the Vine still makes me kind of tear up to this day because of it, which is impressive to say that it had that much of a effect on me, even as a kid. But 3, there we go. Let's see. Who knows, though? There's a lot that can be done on this channel, and I will do them. I'll do them all. It's just a matter of time. I might go back to twice a week if I find that I have enough free time. But in the meantime, I'm kind of stuck. Hey Meg, how you doing? Good to see you. Happy Memorial Day. How have the studies been going? Oh, come on. Tuna, let's go. Shame. How many armor fish? Okay, that's enough armor fish morsels. We'll go to a different area and fish. I'm doing just fine. The channel's exploding, the shorts are doing pretty well. The latest short I put out is not the best, and I knew that, but I needed a small buffer, and I feel bad that I needed a small buffer. It truly made me feel kind of rotten inside to put something out that I wasn't proud of, you know? But, good news, tomorrow, a new short is coming out, and that's going to be something to look out for. It'll also give a hint as to what Saturday's video is going to be. So, that'll be fun. Okay, let's store items. I think we're good here. But this is a Memorial Day stream, so we're grilling and fishing. As we should. Any planes? We'll do this until that's done. Ooh, let's try to eat for feline fisher, huh? There it is. Much appreciated. But yeah, I'm just going to say this outright. The new video is getting age restricted, so watch it before that happens. I've kind of given up on the idea of full monetization, per se, on all of my videos. I want certain videos to be tailored to different aspects of the channel. A lot of the live streams and stuff like that are going to be, oh hey, look, here's my thoughts on things, I'm trying to be a good person, yada yada yada. You know, moral stuff of that nature. And the videos are going to be memes and some of the most degenerate content I can find and make. So, have fun with that. The whiplash is bound to turn heads, if you know what I mean. Where is the fishing spot on this map? Is it in 11? That would make sense, though. Oh, it's in 7. I'm a fool. No, I'm not gonna stream on Twitch. Screw them. They're gonna ban me for accidentally saying the gamer word. At least with YouTube, you just get demonetized and you have the ability to, you know, remedy it by editing your video, right? Also, I cannot control what my friends say, so good luck with that one, buddy. Monster Hunter Rise, I've got a specific person in mind for playing that with. It's just a bit rough considering he is a family man, so he don't got time, which is very sad, truly. So, let's see. We've got Brewing Game, we've got Valheim. Sure there. Oh, Helldivers 2 is one that I'm going to get into. I don't have any of the stuff because I haven't really played it, but a couple of my friends... Ah, yes. You know what? The best way to make sure that I don't get demonetized is to turn off Discord. You're right. That is a great idea. You know what? All of my gameplay from now on, no video, or no audio. No audio for me. You're just gonna see me doing the thing, you won't know what I'm saying, and that'll just work, right? Surely this will only go great. I love how that basically just limits me to speedrunning content. To make it authentic, I'll add Japanese characters to the speedrun, and that way people will be like, oh, this guy knows what he's doing, right? Monster Hunter Wilds, once the new update comes out, I might stream that a little bit. Who knows? I was thinking of doing some videos on it. It feels a bit rough because, you know, I didn't start out the channel whenever Monster Hunter Wilds started. So it was a bit... It's a bit rough in my mind. Do I start over from a new save file? And frankly, I probably could, and it would only take, like, I don't know, what, 20 hours to get through the game? Actually, yes. Speedrunning Ultra Kill, getting all F ranks. That would... Gosh, the optimization on that actually has potential. That's a good idea. I'm gonna log that down. Give me a second. I gotta put that in my notes. That's a banger idea. Thank you, Brick. Alright. More. Ultra Kill. it. There we go. I can't speak. There we go. Ultra kill all F ranks. There we go. That's actually a really good idea. Because who else has the time to do this stuff besides me? You misspelled hubris, idiot. Minor spelling mistake. Destroy him in the chat. Oh. Yeah, your hubris is rewarding you, though. And it's spelled H-U-B-R-I-S, by the way. You know, for playing a game that revolves around sin so much, you don't know how to spell it, huh? That's funny. But no. Look, neither can I half the time. At least you're not as bad as my, Thank you, Meg. At least you're not as bad as my brother. He gets words mixed up all the time. He is dyslexic, though, but it's deeper than that. He mixes up words when he should be saying certain things, like, saying placenta instead of, poinsettia, the plant. And I've been gaming with my brother so much that, it's kind of rubbed off on me, and that's not great. Because that's like adding sandpaper to a masterpiece, right? Surely, my brain is what we would call a modern art masterpiece. Look at that, it's completely bare. Smooth. No wrinkles. I can't believe it. All the words on the canvas, all the paint on the canvas. You try to throw paint at it, but it just slides right off. It's too smooth. Oh, jeez. I would say it's a bit insane to just think about the possibilities for this channel, but I'd like to get at least a bit of consistency, and that takes time, which is rough. No. See, that's the difference. The actual canvas itself is already so smooth that you can't get enough sandpaper grit to smooth it out more. Like, it's almost to the point where you run your finger on it, and it just flicks. You accidentally put too much force. See you later, Brick. Good to see you around. Hope to catch you in the next stream. 2. There we go. Yeah. You know, it's like, you don't ever want to sand down a smooth surface like let's just say an engine piston. Because you're actually making it less smooth. Well, I mean, that has nothing to do with, you know, the implied lubrication of said brain canvas, but, you know, it's a brain canvas. It's gotta be somewhat moist. Ugh. Oh, that's a word. Moist. Let's see. Today's gonna be good. Going to a barbecue. I can only imagine the food's gonna be so good. And the best part is, I don't have to pay for the food. Just kidding. The best part is hanging out with family. So, can't say much about that. So, the next point of farming in the Monster Hunter series is probably going to end up being Duramboros, because his set has Focus, Destroyer, and I believe Adrenaline, which is considered Challenger or Agitator. Oh, wait, no, Adrenaline's something else, isn't it? Heroics? It might have. It has heroics. That's what it was. Brains are squishy. The reason that I know this is in high school, my teacher ran out of frogs. However, she liked me so much that she was like, "Oh, hey, Bob, go ahead and take this pig. I know you can dissect it properly, but I trust you because you are the only one that I trust to go off rip without any instructions." So we got everything except for the brain, because whenever it came time for me to use the scalpel and extract said brain, it ended up being some sort of texture thing with my brain where it itched the wrong way, and I could not follow through with it, so it was left up to my group mates, which did a good enough job. I will give them that, but it was definitely a bit of a weird situation. Also, brains are predominantly just fat. They're fat with salts. So, it's just like a 3 to 5 pound lump of fat that controls your entire body through chemo signals and electrical. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a serial killer. That sounds like a completely normal thing a human would say. I'm just messing with you, but that's a fun way to put that, huh? Coroners have my dream. I start wondering how organs feel sometimes. Most of the time, the answer is they should be squishy unless they have rocks in them. In which case, stop drinking Monster. All the fish just swam around the bait. That's crazy. Oh, same here. That's what allows me to just speak on my own for... Every stream I've had was about 2 hours-ish of me speaking to myself. Which is an interesting amount of time for me. Because typically I'm not too talkative when I'm playing games. I like to focus on the game itself. But in this case, it's just, hey, go off rip. Let's figure out what I can say. I've been working with some people thinking about merch ideas later down the line. I'm on 62 subs, you know? I can't exactly say that this is going to be one of those things that actually takes off. That is only something time can tell. Fish at maximum, there we go. What else is there? I've been watching these videos that have been making it to my page, and it's all about just, hey, here's how to make candy, and I find that fascinating. Because once you realize that candy is just crystalline sugar literally made into the shape of certain objects, it's enjoyable. It's really cool. Using the different acids to be able to, you know, go ahead and flavor them is also a huge thing. And I've always been one of those people that's been fascinated with the idea of taste. So at some point I need to help my roommate do some smoking. That'll be nice. Smoking meats. That's some good stuff. The plan is to do jerky soon, and we made a marinade. Or he made a marinade and I flavor tested. I'm not gonna take any credit for that one. but he made a flavor marinade, and it was so good. I mean, candy can be shaped as fun things. My biggest concern is how intricate is the actual process of making said candy, right? The ones that interest me the most are the fizzy candies. You know, the ones that have the hard outer shell of just solid sugar, right? But the inside, whenever it interacts with your tongue, fizzes. Those are interesting to me. So, I'm just all for it. There was one, I went to Ireland, and there was a shop in, I believe, Cork City, where they had some fizzy candies. They were like gummy ropes, but they had the fizzy insides. And that one was so good. Oh, I cannot believe. They got the fizzy candies during hide and seek. I feel like that has a story behind it, Meg. You want to tell us that? Did you eat Pop Rocks while you were trying to hide? Oh, there's my roommate. But they got the Coca-Cola flavor really good in Ireland. And everything's farm to table, so you knew it was made. That maybe is a bit guilty there. I don't know. Not convincing me that that's not exactly what you did. Me thinks I was on to something, huh? So I'm interested in seeing if my videos actually have gotten completely and utterly just trashed by the algorithm, saying, no, this is too much cursing, you can't put this out. And if so, then oof, but at the same time, whatever keeps the kids from being corrupted. Ooh. What was the most fun interaction of hide and seek? I hid under someone's car, and they didn't find me. And then all I heard, like, about half an hour later was, alright, well, we can't find him, so we'll have to call his parents, but in the meantime, let's go to the store. And I just yelled out from under the car, it's like, I'm down here. So, needless to say, one of my crowning achievements in the games of hide and seek. Potfish? Yeah, I'm glad I chose to speak up. Spoke up. Amazing grammar. I'm glad I chose to speak up because I'm pretty sure they would have ran over me. Well, I wasn't under the wheel, mind you, but it was close. I would have gotten hurt, not killed, but seriously injured. Hide behind a fridge. See, my issue was that the places I could hide were very limited, given the natural quote-unquote bulk that I have. So I had to find areas that were big enough to hide me, but also clever enough so that no one would find me. Oh, I hid in a bush one time, and I did not realize that there was a wasp nest in there. So, needless to say, I was out, and I was tagged by much more than just the Seeker. 3, there we go. Gosh, that was some level of pain. I hate wasps. They are such a pain. I know they're a pollinator. I know they're the reason fig trees still exist. but they are just, painful. They're angry. They're angry all the time. Like, come on. Just have a bit of a chill pill, brother. I understand you can't understand anything because, you know, you're a bug and all, but at least leave me alone, right? I'm just trying to hide. I was just a kid. 2, 3. There we go. Now, one thing I've actually thought of is I'm gonna give them a flower. You know what? I'm fine with that, as long as it's one of those flowers that's actually filled with seltzer water and it's attached to a clown. I want those buggers to suffer. Because they are painful. What was I thinking of just recently? I can't think of it. 2. Maybe the dementia's kicking in. Oh, it's about time, actually. Been chugging through aspartame. So, whenever it comes down to it, it's just... While they are pollinators, I am not a fan of them. Actually, funnily enough, they are the reason that figs are not considered vegan. Because figs will sometimes just have the flower open and the wasp will go inside. And once the wasp goes inside, the fig flower closes and will start digesting the wasp. So figs are not vegan, because they can sometimes just have consumed wasps. Which is also crazy, because the fruit of a fig isn't actually a fruit, it's just a flower. And all the sugar you're getting is just pure nectar. Which is one of the more interesting things. It's, you know, it's evolution, right? And they're not pollinated by bees. One of my worst experiences was I was helping my dad, and he had asked me to move a pallet. And I did not realize that that pallet had a wasp nest on it. So it flew up and stung me on my ear. When I tell you that hurt like nobody's business, it, excruciating. Another time I was at school and I was sitting at the lunch table, and all of a sudden I feel this just searing pain in my finger. Turns out a wasp had stung me twice, had crawled on my finger, didn't recognize that there was anything on my finger, but it stung twice. Yeah. I don't think he set me up on that one. He honestly didn't know. He had apologized multiple times afterwards. But it was just the worst experience I've had with a wasp. But frankly, all experience I've had with a wasp has been just bad. I cannot genuinely say that there is another animal that I quite hate nearly as much as wasps. Mosquitoes are a close one. Mosquitoes are a very close one. But at least we have the ability to regulate them in modern day life. Oh, look at that. The pain tolerance of a styrofoam cup. Every time I stub my toe, it just... Oh, it's bad. But the worst ones are when you stub only your pinky toe. And, like, you hit the corner of a desk or a table or something like that. And it just becomes the worst experience you've had. Alright, I think that's all I can get out of this area. Sure, this has been fun, but, you know, time to go to the next area. Next area is the flooded forest, which has one right in camp, thankfully. Well, I could go to the other areas. I'd like to go to the areas that I'm guaranteed to be able to fish for a longer time. Because, you know, that's the point of the stream. It's to hang out, chill, make sure that people are having a good day on Memorial Day. Okay, I don't like spiders from a, oh, hey, look, creepy crawly, yada 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 perspective. But they have a purpose, at least. I am okay with them. I tolerate them. Okay, see you in a bit, Meg. But no, spiders are one of those that interest me. They're interesting, but they're interesting in the bad way, where they have hydraulic systems using their blood to extend out their legs and move around. They are a biomechanical tank that just decides, you know what? I choose violence. I choose to be an ambush predator. And so it's a bit rough. What you got, Cha-Cha? Killing beetle. Alright, cool. And you, Kayamba? Nope. Alright, guild girl. Let's see, we got through Sandy Plains, so let's go to Flooded Forest next. This should be decent fishing. You know, considering it's a forest that's filled to the brim with water, right? There we go. That'll work. Let's hope to get Fisher. Work. The way I say Fisher sounds like how the Brits say fissure. Which now me saying it makes me sad because it kind of sounds like I'm British, and that is no bueno. But needless to say, hello, welcome back, Meg. Bish, nice. The etymology of certain words is truly interesting, like Tsar, Tzar, which is a Russian leader, right, is based on Caesar, Julius Caesar. Because Russia is one of the Romes, quote-unquote. I believe it was Rome is the first. What else was it? Byzantine? Is that it? I don't think that's right. No, Byzantium was the later era of Rome. That's what it was. I know Moscow is considered one of the Romes. But either way, they basically had the idea that, oh hey, if we're going to have all of this happen, we're going to be the new Rome, so we need a Caesar, or we need a Kaiser, as they would have said it. And so it's Tsar, is what they shortened it to. So etymology is fun. Oh, I forgot to unload the fish. Shame. It's gonna make an awful stink in my pockets. Especially wearing a poncho. Ugh. I can only imagine that would take ages to get out. But over here we have the bomb fish, which are newly prevalent. And they're used for making barrel bombs or certain ammo types and whatnot. Okay, after this next fish, we're gonna go back and deposit and then come back to fish a bit more. I think that's a pop fish, and I like pop fish, so... Pop fish? Pop fish! Nice! Oh, scared off the fish. I'm sorry. It's also one of those things where etymology helps you understand what a word means, even if you don't quite understand what the word is. I can't give a good explanation or like an example of that because, you know, all it is just, hey, Think a big word, break it down into small word. Mostly Latin root. And so it all rhymes with grug, right? In my head. So I can't think of big words right now. One of the funniest things that people have chose to do is the phobia of something. Either way, words that are the same back and forward. That word is a word that is the exact same going back and forward. So it's kind of a haha, guess what? You still have to deal with this type issue. Which is so rude to just have that be something like that. Like, the fear of long words is actually an extremely long word. So it feels like the people who named these things were just messing with people and got their chuckles from watching people suffer. Which is kind of funny in a way, but also really. I mean, scientists do that, though. I mean, there's a fish, and it's like the ass fish or something like that. And you can tell that a scientist just got real fed up with them and just was like, no, screw it, name him this. I don't care. He's an asshole. But or the skrunk of the dongfish or whatnot it was, where it just hits you with like 5 or 6 of these amazing terms that scientists have coined. I hate pronouncing long words. I'm okay with reading them. I do not like pronouncing them. They are a pain. But I also have an issue where speaking is not exactly the easiest, you know? I don't know if it's a speech impediment or just a disconnect between the chair and the mic, but could be anything. Oh, what's another really fun one? Fun little tidbit, per se. Ah, come on, I had it just a minute ago. Didn't have coffee this morning, that's what's going on. Fried egg jellyfish. Yeah. Memeorial is an interesting name, but there are some things like, the big mouth bass and the smallmouth bass, but the smallmouth bass has a bigger mouth than the big mouth bass when extended. It's so weird to me. Oh gosh, how many times have I caught myself in school just thinking, I don't know. Yeah, like that. The I meaning I don't know. Or the reason that every river is a certain name in France or something like that is because they told the English that the name of the river was just river. Malagasy. Interesting. Is that the official language of, like, Madagascar? Because if I remember correctly, the I's are in Madagascar. But I also have a bad memory, so that could be anything now that I think about it. Yes, the boobies, the tits, and all other sorts of birds. I mean, you have the other side of the spectrum. You have the cocks. And, there are some birds that are of the designation of dicks, which is very fun. But let's just see this. Oh, that's what it was. Astronomers found a comet that is in the shape of a duck. So now a proper scientific term is hemiducks, meaning either side of that duck-shaped comet. And that one's amazing. Cockchafer. Oh man, that's ugh. Come on, man. At least lotion. That's got to be rough. But no, hemiducks are one that I actually learned about, and oh man, was that funny. The hemiducks were all about it. I had to take astronomy because, you know, it's a quote-unquote life science that I had to take in college because they just want to extend your stay by 2 semesters and screw you over to hell and back. Take my money, I guess. Ugh. Better than a wrecked colon. Welcome, people. It is the Memorial Day stream. I am fishing and grilling in Monster Hunter while just having a nice, pleasant chat. What's another one? The Scrungle of the Dongfish? Something like that. Absolutely ridiculous. Come on. My brain would have a little kickstart. That would be nice, but you know, it don't do that. It don't do that too well. Man, I got sub 10-digit IQ. I can't think. Pluto. You mean the planet? Oh, Psych reference. I've never actually watched Psych. I don't tend to watch dramas and stuff like that. I find that they just kind of bore me, in a sense, or they are so laugh-tracky that it gets rough. Because without the laugh track, it would not be funny in the slightest. Everyone knows The Big Bang without the laugh track is just dead silence of, oh, that wasn't that funny. You know what I do prefer to watch? I like watching Wheel of Fortune, because I like trying to guess what the best letter would be, or what the actual puzzle is. Jeopardy. Oh man, I miss Alex Trebek. Yeah, no, I understand, but they are, if from what I've remembered, they are a drama. And that one just kind of gets to the point of, really, you have an easy solution right there. House is fun, and I love that House memes have had a resurgence, because House is one of those things where it's like, you want to show an autistic doctor who's tired of everyone's crap? There you go. He knows everything, and he's going to be an asshole about it? Go ahead. Other people have found, like, massive success. Like, Rick and Morty found massive success with that idea of, hey, I'm intelligent to the point where I'm damn near a supernatural being, so, screw you. Funny, but also sad at times. Yeah, a lot of House is interesting, because you see a guy trying to be at least a good doctor, but he's a horrible person, and he knows it, and so he kind of leans into it. Whereas everyone else around him, including his friends, are just like, you're a good person. Just stop being like this. You can choose not to be this way. Also, you know, the oxy addiction is something else entirely. But I mean, where else can I hear someone make so many midget jokes so fast? Was your father of normal size? Ugh. Well, even in context, it's hilarious. Just don't take it too seriously. That's what you got to do. So many of them, so many people just try to take it too seriously, and they don't realize that it was made in like 2009, 2010 era, which was all about just, you know what, screw you, I'm gonna say this. Tough, right? What else was there? The Young and the Restless. I don't understand the middle-aged white woman obsession with Young and the Restless. It is an awful experience. My mom would watch it all the time, and it would always be on the bloody TV, but I just had to sit there and go, wow, I could be watching anything else. I could be watching anything that would, like, stimulate the brain, but no, I'm watching people just be idiots. Ugh. Just cannot stand it. Now, a good one of those shows... Everyone talks about Better Call Saul. I enjoyed Better Call Saul. The pacing was so bad in the first series. Or, first season. Because you just had to sit there and wait for stuff to happen. Breaking Bad was a little bit better about it. That's why that got so popular. But I think the main draw was, haha, get it? It's a man. It's a man who makes meth and is slowly becoming a horrible person. You know, this explains why you want to be a coroner. News or true crime? I love the people who watch true crime and they're like, I'm afraid to go outside. It's like, yeah, you're giving yourself nothing but the information to make you afraid to go outside. That's what will happen. You know? It's hilarious to me. It's like, oh, all these people are terrible. It's like, then, okay, I guess. Hey, you just gotta look out for the signs of it. You watch plenty of true crime. You should know the signs, surely, of what makes a bad person, but half the time people turn a blind eye to it. I just, it makes me so unbelievably sad. Well, at the same time, serial killers were not as, I guess, quote-unquote, known. The internet was not everywhere to give instantaneous information dispersal. So people were not wary, but also people had no reason to fear it. Everything was community-based. If someone did something horrible, the entire community would shun them and they would be on the run, but they couldn't do anything. What are you going to do? Run to a different state? They've already called the cops, and the cops will be on you in like 5 minutes. Now, you want to know what is funny? Back in the day, whenever they just implemented the no alcohol while driving laws, everyone was just sitting there like, no, this is a complete and utter a pox on our American freedoms. We should be able to drink and drive, and, you know, they kind of have a point, you know, the drunk crashers give them a bad rap. All I'm gonna say is that, you see me plastered, give me some car keys, I'm gonna be just fine. Have a great day, you know? What was it? The one thing of Joe Biden going, I don't think that drunk driving should be a felony, and I just sit there like, bro, that's awesome. That's hilarious. Shouldn't go to prison for drunk driving. I'm like, okay, alright. Speak up, Mr. Dementia Man. I love you. You coming out. No. Obviously, it's a bit rough, given the current climate of everything, where people are so divisive on who to vote for, and then you just kind of realize that all of the parties are the exact same, and it makes you sad. But funnily enough, YouTube TOS says talking about politics gets you age restricted. And I guess it's fine because you don't want to influence the younger generation and all. Yeah, exactly. Frankly, sober car crashes are a lot more prominent, but that's because nobody knows how to bloody drive. And whenever everyone's on their damn cell phones, what do you expect? I mean, I'll take drunk without a cell phone any day over someone on their cell phone. They, those guys are madmen. Oh, I actually saw something on iFunny the other day, where it was the smartest thing ever. The dude had radar on top of his car, and it showed everyone behind him, "Hey, this is what's in front of me. This is what's on the side of me. This is where I'm going. This is how fast I'm going. This is what state my engine's at, like drive, reverse, neutral." That is great. Dude, I want every car to come installed with radar that tells the person behind them what actually is going on. Hello, Darkfish Gaming. How do you do? Welcome to the Memorial Day stream. We're fishing and grilling, you know. It's Memorial Day. Gotta have a good conversation with people. Well, if the teachers themselves that we put in public schools are going to just tell the kids what they believe in and what they should believe in, I mean, why can't you do it on YouTube? Kids look at YouTube way more, or way less actually, than they are at school. It's 8 hours a day, and you get to learn your entire teacher's political spectrum or whatever. It doesn't make sense. It shouldn't happen. You shouldn't know anything about your teacher besides, hey, they're a good person and they're an authority figure, right? They know more about this than I do, so I should listen to them. You shouldn't know their politics. You shouldn't know their agenda, what they believe in, or anything like that. Like, don't corrupt the youth, man. That's why all of my stuff is, hey, you have to be 18 to see this. It's not for kids. I'm not going to do that to the kids. I refuse to. It's against every fiber of my being. Because, you know, kids can get corrupted so easily, and it makes me so sad that they just can't think. They aren't with the capabilities. They don't have the life experience of it to think. But if one has the life experience, we tend to just not listen to them, ever. It's one of those things where it's a double-edged sword, where it's a kid, where they may not know the reason they feel a certain way or think a certain way, but we should get to the bottom of that, explain it, and then that way they can understand that, oh, hey, you're not actually feeling this, you're feeling another thing, but it's because you are thinking of this. I don't know. The best way I can think of describing it is the amount of kids that get put into anger management, where it's just, oh, you can't be angry, ever, right? No, anger has a point. It is the reaction to injustice in life. And you need to know that it is the reaction to injustice for you to be able to utilize it like the tool that it is. Exactly. So well, they teach you about the wars and stuff like that, but they never teach you about what causes the wars or the intricacies of the actual supply chains or stuff like that, where there's a lot more going on. There are years upon years of socio-political conflicts that have led to war. But nowadays, it's just, this place has oil. I want it. And so war doesn't have a reason anymore. And frankly, war didn't have a reason in, like, the medieval ages. It was just a bunch of cousins hating each other enough. It's like, I want more land. Piss off, dude. I care more about my serfs than, you know, other people. That's why I keep them in the house. They get to sit on the porch after they're done doing their work. But whenever it comes down to it, wars just don't feel like they have meaning anymore. Obviously, sometimes the meaning can be twisted and stuff like that. Like with the Vietnam War, it was to prevent the spread of communism, when in all actuality it was Lyndon B. Johnson trying to get the military-industrial complex to bolster his stocks. Which, ugh, I hate that dude. I mean, the last great president we had was Kennedy, and look what happened. There's a reason that he got assassinated, is he was too good. He was for the American people too much. It just, I cannot believe that public schools don't actually teach this. It's not what they're reporting on, it is the lack of what they're reporting on. One of the textbooks in my U.S. history class had, I think, 2 or 3 full pages completely bashing Ronald Reagan the entire time, and then maybe a half page about Jimmy Carter. And I sat there, I was like, wait. Didn't he kind of lead us into a recession with this whole agriculture thing that he did? I almost said John McCain likes agriculture, why don't you? But that's neither here nor there. But so many great presidents. But the issue of the matter is, yeah, they don't get to live long if they're great. Which is why every president that survived an assassination was elected. I mean, our president-elect Trump is one of the best ways to see that, right? He survived 2 assassination attempts, and then people were like, okay, well, they don't want him up there. There must be a reason that they don't want him up there, so we're going to vote for him. It's just baffling to me that we don't teach these kids common sense. We don't teach them to read between the lines. It is just teaching, regurgitation, and then they forget. And it's an absolute injustice to what it means to be educated, right? To be educated means that you can not only retain the information, but develop more information of your own. You need to be able to learn and develop as an individual, right? It just, I don't know. It's honestly sinister in my mind that we don't let our kids live and grow like they're supposed to. I don't know. I can't quite grasp the concept of, oh hey, our posterity needs to be dumb enough for us to completely and utterly take over their lives. Yeah, you need to have common sense to teach common sense, but you know what is the best way to teach common sense? Get some blue-collar worker to come in there and tell these kids, hey, this is what happens in the real world. So sometimes, never about the bad thing. No. Often they teach about the bad things they did. It's just whenever they don't want to support that president, that's whenever they talk about the bad things that they've done. Like, I'm sure the history books are going to be chock-a-block full of whatever President Trump has done bad, but they're not going to talk about the certain things that, say, President Obama did. With the, let's just say, he took a little page out of World War I Germany at the border. So, just saying. I don't know. Common sense needs to be much more prolific in our education. We can't have people just going for grants, teaching, because then all they're trying to do is teach because they have to, and their main source of actual employment is getting the grants. Yeah, Washington did own slaves. So did most, if not all of them, up until the point where slaves were abolished. It was a fact of life that you had to have them. But the thing is, everybody talks about, oh, slavery this, slavery that. You do realize that they were treated well comparatively to other instances of slavery. I'm not defending it. I am just simply saying that it was treated better. Oh, an actual plantation wanted to put up a plaque. It was getting converted into a museum. Wanted to put up a plaque thanking the loss of the Irish slaves, right? Because they had Irish people as slaves. But the government basically said, no. If you do that, we are pulling all funding for turning this into a museum. So you know what they did? They didn't get turned into a museum. It's still a plantation home. It's just, I'm tired of people talking about slavery or something like that, like it only happened to a certain group of people. It's been around for ages. That's the reason that Islam is actually so popular in the Middle East, is because if you were part of Islam, you could not be a slave from people who are Islamic. So that's why it spread all through South Africa and all through Africa and whatnot. That's why one of the richest men in all of history was Muslim, was because he or was Islamic. I don't remember quite. Whatever. He was he believed in Allah and whatnot. But it was because he didn't get taxed, he didn't get enslaved, and that's why they kept it as a religion for so long. And if you weren't Muslim, you got put to the sword. It's quite literally the last book of the Quran that talks about jihad and, killing the infidels. Pretty, that's probably... Well, yeah. Of course it's not going to be pretty. It's horrible things. We didn't have the moral compass. Or if we did, we put it aside because, haha, that person's different than us. That type of thing. Nobody's going to talk about the book burnings in the Weimar Republic, and this might actually get me, a flag or something on my channel or whatnot. But the Weimar Republic burned books, and everybody was like, no, they were burning knowledge. They were burning studies on gender theory. Because the Christians in the area knew full well that that was not great for the youth. And say what you like, I'm going based off of statistics. It's who's left, not who's right. It's written by the victors, so it's always going to favor the victors. And it's so sad. I just... Ugh. I'm not defending anything that anyone has done. Frankly, I haven't been involved in any real wars or anything like that. I haven't advocated for war ever. I mean, not gonna lie, the one in like India and Pakistan is a little bit funny to me because I haven't gotten nearly as many spam calls. But whenever it comes down to it, I think that war is a complete waste of human life. I feel like there are so many better things that humans can be, I guess, used for. But people have a different purpose than just to kill each other, right? That is a fundamental belief of mine, where people shouldn't just be murdering people. Yeah, just because someone does something good doesn't mean they were a good person. But also, because someone did a bad thing in the past does not mean they are a bad person now. It is all context-based, and I've talked with my roommate about this. Context has been lost in this day and age. No one wants context because they want to just look at it and feel angry or whatnot. And the media loves that because it gains attraction. It attracts people to it. If you're angry, you interact with it. And that's what they want you to do. They want you to interact because your commodity that you are offering them is your time and attention. That is what they are selling. That is why some of these free sites where you can read and whatnot have certain, I don't know, the ads and whatnot all over the place. But, they're ads, right? Everywhere has ads. The reason why they have ads is they are monetizing your attention and your time. It is awful. And I mean, I understand I'm participating in that being a YouTuber, but I like my time that I provide to people to be productive. At least during the streams. The streams are always going to be a productive kind of conversation. Either that or a little bit of zealousy, Gotta maintain my rep. I think I am 3 out of 3 for the series I have, having cults in them. So I may have found my shtick in all of that, but at the same time, it's just I want the commentary to be good. I want people to think. I wouldn't not be self-aware. I can't tolerate the people who just sit there and are like, oh, look, they're choosing to do this, right? It's perfectly fine. No, no, no. You're choosing to watch me, so I want to know what you think. I want to know more about what makes my audience tick, right? Because for me, all this is a big Sudoku puzzle where I'm plugging in numbers here and there, and if it doesn't work out, I swap out that number and stuff like that. It's a growing process. And I want people in my community to grow and change as individuals. Frankly, that's why I love iFunny so much. They're a bunch of degenerate scum, but they're good people at the end of the day. Like, how many posts have you seen where it's just, oh, hey, I'm morbidly obese, but I'm trying to do better, and everyone in the comments is saying, good for you, brother, keep it up, here's a workout regimen, yada yada yada. But the people who are so blatantly and obviously not caring that they're horrible people, all we do is bully them. But bullying kind of had a purpose. And I'm going to preface this, don't get mad just yet. Bullying had a purpose because if someone made the dumbest comment ever, like, I want to fuck a toaster, right? Back in the day, you would get looked at weird by everyone around you, and they would call you an idiot and shut up. No, you can't fuck a toaster. But now you can find an entire subreddit filled with people who say that it's normal to want this. And so guess what? You grow up thinking it's normal to want to fuck a toaster. Congratulations. Instructions unclear, dick stuck in toaster. 10 out of 10. Great job. But that's just people, you know, being aware of, oh, hey, I'm doing something bad, but you know what? It's fine. I don't care. If I do something bad, I want to remedy it. It's not enough that I apologize. I have to do better in the future. And I kind of want to instill that at least a little bit in my viewers. And if they have it already, thank goodness. Because it's so hard to find people who genuinely care about what their actions cause, right? There are so many different people that just, you know what? The ends justify the means, right? No. No. The ends will never. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's where I actually got it from. I got it from iFunny. I wish I could credit the meme author for it, but it was so long ago. But whenever it comes down to it, I want people to be self-aware. I want them to grow and change, because that's what humans should do. The human experience is being better, trying to do better, and never quite attaining perfection. But you're not supposed to. You're only human. Yeah. Look, the whole statues and whatnot, if you're talking about the Mary Monroe or whatnot, in Ireland statue that they're putting on a pedestal because people do that, yeah, I can see why you'd think, oh, the kids shouldn't be seeing that, that's awful. I agree. But there's a certain point where it's up to the parents, right? They have to be the ones to actually curb their kids' expectations and choosing how to raise their children. It's up to the parents. It's not up to the state. Although that's kind of been pawned off on the state as of recently because people don't want to raise their kids, or they can't. They're too busy working all the time to raise their kids, that is a disgusting concept to me, that people can't actually start a family and raise a family because they're too busy working. It's all about, how do I get the most? How do I get the most out of, being a good person? It's just, I don't know. It's interesting, right? But, of course, on the other side, you think of all these statues that people don't quote-unquote grope or anything like that. You think of the dog statue where you've got that big yellow patch on the top of his head because everyone wants to pet a puppy, right? I don't know who you're talking about. The statue of Victor something? What exactly did that person do? Yeah, it's just... I'm tired of people constantly having this opinion of, oh, you can't have context in anything. No matter what, you did this thing, it's bad. It's rough. It's rough. I'm so sad to see it. It's the death of context. Sorry about that little bit of dead space in there. That grandfather called me, and I'll text him back and call him back. But it's a shame. It's a damn shame that we don't let our kids be kids and grow up and learn. It's sit in a desk for 8 hours a day, and if you can't, here, take this pill that'll completely rewrite your brain. Misbehaving children aren't supposed to behave at first. They're not supposed to be perfect. They're a blank slate. They don't know what they're doing. They're just doing what feels right. You know what? Real quick, Med, what is the context for that? Because I know I've gone on like a bunch of tangents. But yeah, death of context. You know what? I'm gonna do a fireside chat one day. I've got a plan. Once a month, every month on a certain Saturday or something like that, I'm gonna have a live stream where it's me and a bunch of my friends. I've already got 2 in the works. One talking about the Catholic faith, and the other talking about video game development, and those are in the works right now. But one of them should be the death of context in jokes. I'm going to invite my friends that crack some of the most horrible jokes, and those are going to be the people that I bring with me on that. The video game one, I'm going to have a video game developer, like an actual developer who owns a video game company. I'm going to have someone going to college for video game design, hopefully, and a person who's worked in the video game industry for a while. And for the Catholic one, I've got 2 incredibly book-smart people that are coming on, and one person who has lived his life as a Catholic, but... Oh, yeah, okay. I understand where you're getting at. Groping the statue of Victor. Yeah, that feels a bit weird. But also at the same time, I could see men doing that as well as a gag for like college-age dudes. But yeah, children have to be taught to be better. They are little humans. They are little humans that you have to mold and grow and develop. It's the entire idea of being called culture. You have grown in a certain fashion. Alright. Oh gosh, I'm out of stamina. We're gonna move on to the next area. But yeah, I don't understand why people don't exactly try and teach their kids to be better people. They just put them in front of an iPhone and then let everyone else do it. If someone has their child watching my stream, I want them to be, at first, confused why this man who is playing a video game isn't talking about the video game. But later on, if they're of old enough age, I want them to simply sit there and go, whoa, wait, what is he talking about? What do you mean by that? And then do their own research. Like, the live content is going to be human decency and a little bit of preachiness about that, and I'm sorry about that. I don't mean to be one of those people that just constantly preaches to his audience that you should do this or you should do that. But at the same time, it's a necessity. I want people to understand where I'm coming from. And where I'm coming from is a place of just, please don't corrupt the kids. Yeah, you give them a phone, they get on iFunny at the age of, like, what, 12? Oh gosh, I got on when I was like, I don't know, 11, 9? Ugh. I ever remember the first ever rocket chainsaw. Oh my lord, I'm old. But yeah, they end up on iFunny and they see the worst stuff and then they go, haha, guess what? This is normal, right? And it leads to a long life of, oh no, you can't do that. And it's a genuine, you should not do this. It's not something children should be doing. But whenever it comes down to it, what are you gonna do? You can't control other people's kids. You can try as you might, but that's gonna give you a restraining order at best. But it just hurts. It hurts to see people not parenting their kids. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone in my entire channel can affirm that, hey, getting a phone at a young age is the worst thing to possibly happen. Thankfully, I got a smartphone whenever I was first, like, 13? Okay, so it was around 13 that I got iFunny. That's what it was. I got it when I was 13. And so, whenever it came down to it, it was just, oh, hey, I hear all my friends are talking about this place where you can see some really weird stuff. I want to check it out. I check it out, and of course, I'm speaking from a place of I know what I've done. Oh my gosh, I'm so used to getting Fisher. I know what I've done. I know who I am. And who I am was a person who took that and kind of ran with it as their personality for quite a while. Before I grew up and realized, wow, it's not necessarily that I enjoyed that the content was there. I just enjoyed seeing all different aspects of humanity. The death of the individual is something to be stated, especially with the media going on, right? Everybody wants to look the same, everyone wants to be the same, and it's just wrong. It's something innately wrong at looking around at people and seeing the same face. That something about that doesn't click in my head because it shouldn't. It shouldn't be something that allows you to simply look at it and go, oh, that's normal. Why is everyone wearing the same makeup? Why is everyone wearing the same clothes? Why is this? Why is that? It's the harnessment of the social construct in use of media. That's what ends up happening with it. That's why you get the two-party system, right? You get so many people slightly disagreeing, and you only give them two options to actually implement anything, but both of those options lead to the same result. It's wrong. I just... I get angry about it, but it's angry because it's unjust. It's not what humans should be doing. It's not what we were made for, man. And that makes me sad to say. It's just... we aren't made for this type of life. What are we made for? I don't know. But I think we're made for learning and changing and trying to figure out what we're made for. I don't know. It feels rough. I don't know the answers, but I want to extend an olive branch to others to try and find the answer with me, right? That's what it should be. It shouldn't be, oh, you're slightly different, so therefore I can't be friends with you, or you have a slightly different opinion. No, you have a slightly different opinion because you have a different life than me. You aren't me. I shouldn't expect you to be me. Okay, first of all, we can't do that because trees are innately a bad source of, shelter. Second of all, I don't think we can all sprout wings and grow to, like, shrink to the size of a coffee mug. So, just a bit of reality. I don't have a Patreon yet. I'm going to develop a Patreon once I feel comfortable enough to actually have enough content for y'all to enjoy a Patreon. The content I'm gonna have on there is the fully uncensored VODs. Like, the videos are going to be completely uncensored. Every single thing that I say, and all of my friends say, will be in that video. But, I've also got different ideas for merch. Considering my channel's based on developing cults as of right now, one of my favorite phrases that my roommate always uses is "feel the zeal," and I want to have one of me and another buddy of mine who also kind of does that stuff, holding, like, locking shoulders and being buddies, holding up 2 mugs of beer, and "feel the zeal" being right there. I've also had the idea of a mug that whenever you put hot coffee in it, it just glows with that divine light, right? And so the divine light starts spreading out from the middle. I thought that was interesting. But a Patreon is in the works. I just need to have enough content for y'all to actually be able to get some use out of it, right? I'm not going to get a Patreon and just shill y'all nothing, because I can't give you anything yet. But the second I can give you enough, I will. And it's going to be, I don't know, like $3 or $4 a month. I'm not going to charge y'all an exorbitant amount, because that feels wrong to me. I feel wrong taking from people that way. I know it's freely offered if at that point, but it still feels to me like I'm taking from y'all, right? But it is in the works. Also, it'll have content that I couldn't exactly put on the channel, right? Stuff that I do where I'm just kind of sitting there talking to myself for hours on end. I'm also thinking about doing a couple of things where, like, patrons get exclusive access to whenever I do fireside chats. Your comments are pinned in the stream so that you guys can get your input out there faster. And I'm hoping to toe this line between the degeneracy of iFunny and the true decent people of iFunny. And I want it to kind of, like, vibrate back and forth like a metronome to the point where people's necks snap from the whiplash, right? But that's where I'm going with this channel. I want people to enjoy what I make. And if they can enjoy what I make, then I'll feel comfortable monetizing it. But in the meantime, it's just spreading subscribers, letting people know what I'm about, obviously posting on iFunny. iFunny, I do some good edited videos for that. Posted one not just a couple days ago, but the next one is coming, I believe, tomorrow, along with the first short of the week. So, look out for that. But whenever it comes down to it, this is a gameplay channel, right? I want to have gameplay in my videos, but my live stream should be a chat. It should be a chat with people to understand what y'all desire, what y'all want to see. And I mean, I'm hoping that people have noticed that every time that I say, what should I do? I'm genuinely looking for an answer. I want to know what y'all do, and that'll influence what I do in the future. Because y'all are my base. You guys got me up to 62 subs in a day from 13. Of course I'm going to have some loyalty to you guys. You guys are amazing. I love y'all. But it's one of those situations of, I don't know if I can put out enough content as fast as possible, because I'm a one-man army here. I've got a buddy of mine, eventually, once I have enough money to hire him as an editor, I'm bringing him on, Because like I said in the gratitude stream, it's not enough that I succeed, other people should succeed with me. And once I'm able to... Yes, thank you very much, Meg. You were the first ever person to comment on my stream. Don't think I've forgotten that. But once I get him on, the workload will be a little bit easier. And I'm doing everything on free software. I've had to learn this from the ground up. I didn't go to college for this. I went to college for microbiology. I wanted to brew beer for a living. And certain things have ended up happening, bad luck, but it's all kind of led to this. So, I'm happy for it. Thank you, all of you. It's definitely something. I enjoy it thoroughly. This has been a learning experience from day one. I don't know how to make videos, but the next video I make will be better than the last video I made. And every time I'm looking for better and better and better. It's gotta be better, or else I feel stagnant and I'm not growing. And that's what this channel is about, growing as a human. Whether that's growing in your repertoire of horrible memes that should never be uttered by any man, or woman, or child, or growing as a person in the sense of you're becoming better than what you were yesterday. And it doesn't matter what percentage of it is, you're doing better. So that means you're going up. You may falter a little bit, but at the end of the day, you gotta look at where you came from, and frankly, you're better than where you were 10 years ago. So, that's all I gotta say. It's just... You know what? The I love you, please don't explode. I want to find a game where the characters can blow up. And whenever I find that game, and you say that in the chat, I'm going to hit the explode button. Just for you. And, of course, I've got the idea of free channel memberships for certain interactions. Like, the dude who sent me the rat video on iFunny, he gets a free channel. Free channel membership. I absolutely. Dude made me laugh so hard. Also, I'm doing a 100 subscriber special whenever we reach that. So whenever that happens, I'm taking all the comments from iFunny and YouTube, and I'm doing something with it. You guys will see what I mean. It's the first time I've ever seen anybody think of that, so I'm gonna tease it a little bit, but it's gonna be something good. Gosh, the amount of blurs I'm gonna have to put in that video, though. Either way, I genuinely appreciate everyone who views my channel. You guys are watching my content. Like, sure, I'm not monetized yet, but y'all put me on the path to be monetized in 2 months. A gameplay channel being monetized in 2 months? I think that's happened like maybe 3% of the time. That's a disgusting level of growth, and I love it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I freaked out whenever I first saw that my subs jumped up this much. And I was sitting there like, what do I do? What do I do? I need to put out content for them because they were nice enough to go ahead and, you know, sub to me. I just... Thank you, is what I'm saying here. I appreciate it. Hopefully y'all enjoy what I make. Hopefully y'all are here for the ride. And I want nothing more than to see y'all grow and develop as people as well. I mean, one of the ideas I've had was a Socratic seminar in the chat, where I ask questions and then it leads to discussions in the chat. Yeah, I've seen the iFunny comments getting tons and tons of likes on other channels. Frankly, I don't think we have a YouTube channel that's main form of social media is iFunny. I want to be that. I want to be the bastion for everyone from iFunny to flock to on the YouTube. Because the closest thing we've had is hybrid calisthenics, right? But I don't know if he was originally posting on iFunny first and then moved to YouTube. But if so, I mean, heck, I'd love to do a collab with him. Like, I'd love to learn how he got to where he was and how he developed all of this knowledge. Like, oh my lord, the dude is insanely intelligent. And you can tell that in the way that he speaks and acts and performs in front of the camera. Dude is fascinating, frankly. But I know iFunny loves him, and I love him too. He helps people grow and change. I love it. Like, his thing is physical, mine thing's gonna try and be more mental, you know? More intellectual discussions, rather than the physical aspect. But if I can get some knowledge on the physical aspect, maybe it'll help me, and maybe it'll help people in my channel, right? But the people from iFunny and who love the comments, yeah, it's gonna be great. I hope that the video that I'm putting out, I'm taking a week to do it. It's gotta be top tier quality. I would have to watch it. I would want to watch it if it weren't my channel. And I've got a kind of litmus test worth of friends that I'm gonna run it by beforehand. Yeah. The dude's great. I mean, you want to know what else helps with workouts? Something that my buddy and the editor that I'm looking at, and I will have eventually, chromium. Chromium is a metabolism stimulant because it makes the more favorable reaction from breaking down fat. Breaking down fat as, you know, energy is favored whenever you have chromium in the system. It's insane. And then, of course, you know, cinnamon also has the effect where it regulates your blood sugar in your bloodstream so that you're not always taking from your bloodstream and getting that exhaustion after a workout. No, you're breaking down fat to supply it to your bloodstream, and then your bloodstream is regulated to provide you energy. It's fascinating. And I'd love to have more people in here, but, you know, I'm small. I'm small right now, but I want to grow bigger. I want people to see my content and go, okay, alright, I see what he's about. I don't know. It's going to be slow, but it's going to be worth it. Oh, I need to get on a workout regimen as well. I mean, my issue is I've got a lot of joint issues, which I take beef gelatin for because it helps the body repair the joints and whatnot. But once I get to a workout regimen, I should be in better shape. I'm already losing a bit of weight. I'm down like 20 pounds from last week, which is pretty good. But it needs to get a bit better, right? It's all about balancing calories in and calories out, as well as the protein in to make sure that you're not taking from your muscle mass to provide you the protein that you need to survive. Funnily enough, all the people who say vegan diets are great are absolutely wrong. I'm going to debunk that right now. Plant proteins were made as a deterrent for... Thank you, Mick. Plant proteins were made as a deterrent for animals because we can't process them. We can't process plant proteins like we do animal proteins. And so everyone who says, oh, you can replace it all with beans, no, you can't, because you're literally poisoning yourself. They are toxic. They are designed to be toxic by the plants so nothing eats them. What's the other thing that it was? I think carbs should not be as big of a part of our diet as they are. They were great for, you know, serfs and stuff like that in the Middle Ages because they were working in the fields all day. But nowadays, we have too much of a sedentary lifestyle compared to that. Everything's too easy. We don't expend as much energy as we would have in those given conditions. So carbs are a cheap and easy source of carbon and glucose, but if you have too much of it, you don't have enough coming out of it. Yeah, no wonder people are having the obesity epidemic. We don't do enough. In my opinion, it should be fruits, vegetables, and meat. In our day and age. If we were, field workers or something like that, yeah, carbs are absolutely necessary for sustained living. But in today's day and age, with our lifestyle, no, not really. It comes to the point of, I guess, the idea of, you know what your body is made of. Know why it was made that way. Like, DNA is a fascinating and completely insane level of coding that not even we could understand until just recently. DNA is raveled and bound so unbelievably tightly that it shrinks, I think it was like on a magnitude of 6,000, if I remember correctly. It's disgusting how much compressed DNA is just in our cells, and in every one of our cells. Every single part of you exists in every one of your cells, which is fascinating, right? Your cells each individually have enough code to make one of you. It's just what gets turned on, what gets expressed, right? Oh, okay. Don't feel guilty about it. Because McDonald's is a necessity for some people. It is the cheap alternative. There is a financial restriction that some people have, and I'm never going to demonize them for having that financial restriction, right? But whenever you can, it's always better to cook for yourself. And frankly, you can make some insanely good meals. Like, a month or so ago, I made this rabbit and sausage sort of meal with pineapple juice and kimchi and all this. Just throw it all in a pot. And it didn't taste quite right at first, but then I added a bunch of ground cumin and a bit of heavy whipping cream, and it became one of the best Indian dishes I've had in my life. All from me just throwing stuff in a pot and going, yeah, sure, that's good enough, right? And so I ate off that for a couple of days. We had the plan to use the pineapples that I use, because I use pineapple rings as well, as a sort of base for a salsa, but we never got around to that, and eventually I had to throw it out, which was a shame, but at least I learned from it, and we're trying to put stuff to the front of the fridge so we don't forget it. Beer, actually, in the Middle Ages was a huge source of protein because they didn't filter out the yeast. Most people's allergy to beer is either from the hops or the yeast, right? Because the yeast have very similar genetic code to us in certain places. So if they express a certain thing and you have an allergic reaction to it, yeah, of course your cell's gonna go, no, that ain't right. No, get out. We don't want you. But people in the Middle Ages, they drank the yeast. And because they are so dense with protein, yeah, they had a easy time just keeping up their protein levels. Because it was beer. That's why grog was so popular back in the day. It was the safest thing to drink. Same thing with beer. That's why the miracle of turning water into wine was something. If I could catch this tuna, if the the miracle of turning water into wine was amazing because it made the water potable, like potable, drinkable. That's what was the big divine thing about it was, oh wow, we can now drink this because it's wine. The alcohol would kill all the bacteria that would cause like dysentery and whatnot, and so people would be able to drink it. That's why the Romans drank hot wine cut with water, because it was safe to drink. It's just, oh man, science is fascinating. The human body is fascinating. The human mind is fascinating. That's why, what is it? Psychology will never actually, be a real science. As much as I hate to say it, it's just not. You can't determine what will actually happen on a given basis because each brain is so individually different. Make beer. I feel that. I mean, you can. It's not too hard. All you gotta do is find a kid that you like at a bar, and basically say, "Hey, kid, get me a beer," and he'll happily do so. But whenever it comes down to it, it was just beer and alcohol was the safe thing to drink. Grog was popular because the alcohol killed all the algae, and so algae wouldn't grow in the grog. And of course they added citrons to prevent scurvy. So grog is just simple syrup, rum, clear rum, and lemon juice. That's how you make grog. And I think it's like equal parts of each. But it's... oh man. The reason they did things is so lost to time because people don't care anymore, man. It's a shame. Could I get this tuna, please? But yeah, people don't care about what actually makes things tick, and it's a shame. I don't know, man. No one cares about what makes kids tick. Why are they so energetic? Yeah. Grog is just citrus juice, rum, and water. It was the safest thing to drink. And it's the way that people rehydrated on the ships, because you couldn't drink seawater, and regular water would just go bad. Another thing, raw milk. The reason raw milk was banned is because I believe it was in Chicago. It was like during the mob boss era of Chicago. They had some milk and it was blue. I don't know what caused it to be blue, but it was something wrong. So they basically dyed it white to sell it to people, and a bunch of people got sick. Who'd have thunk? And so, of course, now milk has to be pasteurized and all that. But raw milk has certain proteins that get denatured during the pasteurization process. Some that help with joint health, some that help with brain chemistry, some that help with actual attention spans. There's all sorts of things that raw milk has that pasteurized milk doesn't. Of course, if you are, you know, having an issue of it, don't drink it, but if you can find raw milk, I'd recommend you do so, because it's what we learn to drink. What our bodies evolve to drink, not this pasteurized stuff. Also, if you've ever wondered why the lactose-free milk is actually so sweet, it's because they just incorporate enzymes that break down the glucose, break down the galactose into glucose. So you're getting a much sweeter milk, but of course your body doesn't have to work to break down the lactose, so it will make you larger because you have no issue breaking it down. It's just glucose. And I found that out a while back, and I was like, oh, okay, that explains why I always preferred the lactose-free milk, was because it was sweeter. I didn't even realize that. I just was like, oh, the lactose-free milk was better because it was better, right? Never actually thought twice about it. But, I mean, hey, there's a infinite uses for just all of these microbial essences that we have everywhere, and it's so nice. It's so great. I love to see it being used in, frankly, everything. Because lactic acid fermentation is what makes Greek yogurt. It's what makes yogurt in general. Cottage cheese is its own thing. I think it's it's citric acid that makes cottage cheese. Raw, next question. I don't know why that's so funny to me. Just poor waitress walks up and is like, "Oh, hi, what can I get you? Can I get you a glass of milk?" Raw, next question. What? But, the reason that we eat raw fish, actually, is that most pathogens from fish cannot be transferred over to us, or at least, like, not viral, you know, because our DNA is so different. It's a complete difference of genetic code, and so we aren't affected by it as much. A certain virus came about recently, and it was weird because it had a thiamine deposit in it. And for the type of virus it was really weird because those viruses shouldn't have thiamine deposits. They're mRNA. And so they should have uracil instead of thiamine. So it's a bit weird. I wonder what could have caused that. But that's after genome sequencing, which is another thing that's fascinating. We sequence genomes to try and determine the shape of proteins. And the way it works is DNA goes to mRNA, which goes to RNA, rRNA, which goes to the ribosome, and then gets turned into a protein. But the way that they fold is so intricately designed based on which, what the electromagnetic properties of the atoms are and their orientation, that you could have the exact same genome and it will always fold the exact same way. You change one thing, completely different structure. Oh gosh, it's fascinating. And we have these like quantum computers that are trying their hardest to figure out what the shape of these proteins are based on the genome, but we can't. It takes forever. And oftentimes they're not accurate because one little instance got changed, right? All we can study is based on what we know. And if we don't know exactly how it folds, we can't exactly determine how that's going to work. But, oh gosh, it's beautiful. Beautiful levels of science and studying. And once you get down to the nitty-gritty like this, you realize everything has a purpose. And so you just got to figure out what it is. And that's one of those things where it's like martial arts, where martial arts are not all about the, hey, here's how you beat someone up. Here's how to live properly based on how you fight. One of the biggest things that every martial artist will tell you, and I will tell you right now, is if you can avoid, if you can avoid a fight, you should. Oh gosh, I had a Jimmy from South Park moment there. That was rough. Thanks, Meg. I'm sure you're having a great time studying my mom. Could you tell me how she works? The test is on Wednesday. Have fun. But yeah, everything has a purpose, and once you figure it out, you understand why it works like that. You understand how to use it. And that's the best thing about pattern recognition that your brain can do, right? Is figuring out how things work and how to use them. It's beautiful. Oh, jeez. But what are you going to do whenever no one allows you to sit there and, you know, actually learn? Which goes all the way back to public school system and, you know, we're not allowing these kids to learn. We're showing them what it is, telling them that they have to show us exactly what we're making, and it's like, okay, memorize how to do this, and then forget about it. Not, say, y equals mx plus b. Most basic algebra, right? For a linear equation. Now, once you make a either derivative or once you increase that up, you start realizing, oh hey, this idea figures out. Okay, it's so good because it has so much sugar in it, alright? And your brain is hardwired to love sugar because it's an absolute dense pack of calories, which allows you to survive. That's why fat tastes so good on a good steak. Let's go, brother. Memorial Day. But yeah, we are programmed to love dense dense calories. That's why honey is so good. Oh man. But it's better for us than granulated sugar because frankly, the bees have to process it too, and they don't have the systems that we do. So, for almost everything to be able to process it, it's pretty good for you. It also has antimicrobial properties as a salve. Like if you just rub honey on a part of your body that has an infection, it will eventually fix the infection. Which is so interesting to me because the bees have to make sure that the honey doesn't go bad. It doesn't ferment. And the way they do that is by decreasing the water content of the honey until nothing can live there. They would just rupture because it's a hypotonic solution. Or hypertonic. I can't remember exactly which one. Okay. It's not the pollen that tastes good, Meg. Don't eat a bee. It is the nectar that tastes good. Please do not put a bee in your mouth. But if you do, it would be kind of funny. And it's like those dogs, you know? The dogs that eat the bee and they got the fat mouth. Ah, it's so cute. Love dogs. I've said this in another stream. My favorite animal, besides dogs, is axolotls. And that's because they are terrestrial salamanders that refused to grow out of their juvenile state so that they could stay underwater more often, because that's where all the food was. Especially in the cave system. Bee bites, new honey candy. I'm pretty sure those are actually a thing. I think I've seen them somewhere. Maybe at a Buc-ee's or something like that? I don't know. Oh, speaking of which, Buc-ee's, the store, I don't know if anyone in the north has it, but in the south is fantastic, right? It's this big old gas station that is basically a Walmart, and their whole shtick is their bathrooms are clean. Best bathrooms in the United States. But also they have all this beef jerky, they have these walls of candy. Oh man. Beautiful place. Love it. But tangents aside, yeah, they're really pretty. A lot of gills are actually pretty. It's just axolotls have them on the outside, right? So they're able to diffuse more oxygen from the actual... Oh, the brisket sandwiches. Oh, I kept hurting on that. But I really need to watch my weight. Yeah, the brisket sandwiches are amazing over there as well. Love them. Let's see. What we got? And that's one thing I've discussed. Has anyone else found that the southern people are much more friendly, for lack of a better term? I think it's like the distinction. It's kind. They're kind. Oh, well, yeah, I'm not surprised. The Boys is just an entire show about, oh, hey, let's post the most disgusting stuff and see if people will actually watch it. It's like Western animation. Like Big Mouth. Whoever thought of Big Mouth was a good idea? Whatever. No, I find that Southern people are just generally nicer and kinder than most others. Because they know how to take life slow, right? They know how to live in the moment, and that's a big thing. I've actually discussed this with one of my buddies, and he was talking about, yeah, they're more open as people. They want to talk with you. They want to get to know you. They want to be your buddy, because more friends is better, just innately. Oh, all the fishing guys are back. Right. Okay, follow these. Mocha deep. Ooh, I'm running low on wheat. I'm gonna suck later. But yeah, I generally enjoy the southern people more. There's a certain, like, point in the country where you kind of get, oh yeah, they're southern, but they're not really southern. I think it's once you hit Georgia, around that area, is where they're toting themselves as southern people, but they're not actually. And that kind of annoys me, because if you're going to be from an area... Look, they have a really crazy accent because it is a modified version of the French accent. And that's why it's so weird to everyone else. It's just a faster, more... what do you call it? Contracted version of the French language. But, I mean, I don't care what you sound like. I mean, I had a really good Nigerian friend. Loved the dude. Always had a bit of an issue of, let's say, sticky fingers, where he'd pick something up, he'd play with it for a bit, and then he'd just go into his room with it. And I just sat there, I was like, hey buddy, you gonna give me my phone back? And he would always apologize and be like, oh man, I keep doing this. I'm like, nah, it's fine, bro. Loved the dude. But yeah, it's one of those things where the more open you are to having friends, I feel like the better you are, the better suited you are for a conversation, you know? Yes, oui oui, on baguette, titty croissant, right? That sort of thing. What was it? There was an iFunny post. It's like, speak French between my legs is like, bonjour. Something dumb like that. I love iFunny. Horrible, horrible place. Love them though. I mean, to be fair, if my post didn't get banned by so many people hating it enough to ban it, which I'm still very proud of, it would have gotten featured. Cert commented on it. I don't know if anyone knew that at the time of banning, but Cirque commented on my post, and it was the first ever post I put on iFunny. I felt elated, right? I felt like everything had kind of clicked into place, and I hope that, you know, from now on, once I post more on iFunny, more people will go, wait, he's back? Alright, get him. Because, it was such a... It was almost a religious experience, I guess, of watching people all band together to hate something that was so blatantly hate bait. Okay, but is the shark smooth or is it rough? That is the debate. We have changed the topic completely. Are sharks smooth or are they rough? My thing is both. I was hoping it got featured, but at the same time, you know, you can't tell iFunny what to do and get away with it, right? But smooth shark. Ah, of course. I say one way it's rough, one way it's smooth. That's gonna be my thing, and until I pet a shark, I will not know. Actually, there was an aquarium around where I lived, and whenever I would go there, they would have these like stingrays or manta rays available to pet, but one year they had sharks, and they were so adorable. Like, they had that little like derpy shark face that they would kind of like go on the side and look at you with. Oh man. Like, they knew they were up to something, but they didn't want to say anything. I mean, frankly, the best thing that people could do for this channel is, like, repub what I post. Because repubs are great. You know what? I bet their bellies are smooth. I want to pet a shark's belly. Rubbing a shark's belly sounds like fun. I feel... I've seen videos of people, like, scratching them, and they just love them. They love their scritches, and that's what I love any animal that enjoys scritches, you know? So great. Yeah, but I'm genuinely hoping that, that people on iFooty repub my stuff, because it gets more traction, and it allows me to have conversations like this with more people. Sure, I'm sure there are gonna be a lot more people hating on my videos, but to be fair, that's fine. I don't care. Tell me what I did wrong, right? Beautiful. To sound like YouTube in, like, what, 2017? I'm so proud of this community. Ah, piss off. You didn't have anyone who was actually worth any salt. You didn't even have PewDiePie in that one. Ooh, I don't like the deep sea, so I want to say lemon shark. Greenland sharks are interesting. They're full of piss. And by that I mean they're full of urea, which is the main component that makes urine. But, whenever it comes down to it, it's just... They live for long times. They're in, like, sub-zero temperatures. They're deep in the sea. Oh, they live for hundreds of years? So cool. Nature is fascinating, man. Like, the idea of a whale fall is also incredibly interesting to me. Because whale falls spark an entire feeding frenzy at the bottom of the ocean floor. And once that happens, a boom of biodiversity. Give you a great white? You know what? That's fair, brother. If I get... Give me a megalodon? That could be arranged. Could be arranged. I do have Ark Survival in my repertoire of games. Although I don't enjoy playing it too much. If I'm gonna play Ark, I'll just play Pal World. Because I like Pal World a lot more than Ark. Mostly due to the fact that you can say, I have slaves. And, they're basically Pokemon. Well, they're not, they're legally distinct from Pokemon. The lawsuit. Oh, that's what it stands for. I thought it stood for Megatron. You know, from Transformers. That's interesting. Well, thank you, Megalodon. That is good information to know. Whoa, what is it? What was the most interesting animal that has ever been, like, you know, domesticated, quote-unquote? I'd have to say... The Russians domesticated a bear to use as cargo transport, which was pretty cool. But that's about par for the course for being Russian, right? Let's see. What else was there? Oh, an eel! Am I smooth or rough? You know what? I'm gonna tell you this by asking you a question. Do you think I could get sponsored by Manscaped? And, if so, I've got a couple of ideas for the sponsorship tagline. Such as, this video is sponsored by my dick and balls. AKA Manscaped, and then go on the tirade. It just, oh man. You will never know, and you should never know, is the answer to that. Silver foxes are. I mean, I assume you're talking about the actual silver fox and not just an old man with a bunch of money. But another thing that got domesticated was an eel. An eel was domesticated by a woman because she would go up to it and pet it every time she scuba dived in this place. And it was like every year she would go and scuba dive, right? So eventually the eel got accustomed to her, and eventually she would, like, bring it fish and stuff like that. And so it would swim up to her, get out of its burrow, and just come up and enjoy the scritches, you know? The fact that we domesticated hogs at all is a true testament to the human will. Because if you've ever seen a feral hog, those things are terrifying. They're like Pumbaa if he was on bath salts and lived in Florida. Tusk growing out, stuff like that, hair all over their body, and a bloodlust of who knows what. I have never seen things tear up anything quite like pigs do. But I also haven't seen turkeys, and turkeys are vicious. Sometimes people have to put, like, little sweaters over their turkeys. Not because they love them, well, because they love them, but, oh, hello! But because if a turkey gets a sore or something, it'll start picking at it and start eating itself, and it's a terrifying experience. No. Pigs are just, how do I put it? They are domesticated hogs, but what is the best way to take this? Pigs are the soft-core version of hogs. Like, they're kind of terrifying, but not nearly as much. And also, oh gosh, hogs reproduce like nobody's business. Those things are a absolute bane to the ecology. Give me a second, my roommate's calling. So it looks like the door jammed. That's interesting. But just fix that whole ordeal. But yeah, biology is something absolutely incredible, right? The fact that all of these things have lived for how many thousands of years? It's great. And you know what's the best part? They grow and develop over all of those years to better suit their environment. That's why dodos didn't have any natural predators, and then the Dutch got to them. Now, if there's two things I can't stand in this world, it's people who are intolerant of other people's cultures, and the Dutch. And those guys just hunted it to extinction on the one island they were alive. I mean, that's why capybaras are so peaceful. They have no natural predators in the place where they're at, so why should they be aggressive towards anything or be afraid of anything? They're just sitting there like, oh, hey, I don't know what you're up to, but hi, how you doing? I'm gonna chill here. You cool with that? Alright, cool. But then, you know, invasive species, because environments aren't adapted enough to these species, they turn into pests. They turn into horrible things that just ravage the ecosystem. I know that applewood snails are a big thing all over the country now because they hooked onto Chinese cargo ships and then got into America. And applewood snails, their eggs have neurotoxins, so nothing eats their eggs. And they lay thousands upon thousands of them in the farms. And you can't remove them with your bare hands because it's neurotoxic, right? So what are you going to do? You just have to sit there and suffer. Because these snails are destroying your crops and destroying your yield. And no one's figured out a way to specifically target them that doesn't ruin the farm. It's so baffling. Like, raccoons are now an issue in Japan because everybody's like, oh, look at the cute little raccoon, and then they realized they weren't the best pets, so they just kind of released them outside. Now there's a feral raccoon population in Japan, and what are they going to do about it? They can't do anything about it. Cats. I know people love cats, but outside cats absolutely terrorize the ecosystem by killing all the birds, all the bugs, and all these things everywhere. And the more you have, the more barren your ecosystem actually is. Another thing are the farms in the Midwest, right? The farms in the Midwest of the United States are huge into isolating. You cannot have a shrew, you cannot have a rat, you cannot have a single snake anywhere in there whenever you harvest. So you have to poison the earth, you have to poison all of them, you have to chop them up. Yes, I would love to feed the raccoons food, but that also becomes an issue, because then they have no danger response to humans, so some crackhead with a rake can go up and hit the raccoon and he doesn't get what he's supposed to get out of it. That's actually a story that I have from my dad's work. They went up to I think it was a Domino's pizza, and this absolute idiot decides, hey, I'm gonna go and kill that raccoon, I'm gonna eat it, right? So my dad's like, alright, fine. Expecting him, whenever he grabs the rake and tries to swing at the raccoon, it's going to maul him. And he'll learn a lesson, right? That should be the case here. No, they had been feeding the raccoon, and so it had no danger response to the dude. And so the dude did what he said he was going to do. And my dad sat there and he was baffled. He was like, no, that shouldn't have happened. Look, unfortunately, I'm not allowed to die. My friends have said if I die, I get resurrected, and they... honestly, it's just an entire system of checks and balances that make me not allowed to die, which I am very sad about, frankly. Because every once in a while, I think, Lord, please take me home. This is enough for me. Most of the time, it's after watching something on iPhone, fair enough. Look, we're not actually, yeah, starting a justice for the raccoon movement might actually be a good idea. Mostly due to the fact that it raises awareness that people shouldn't feed raccoons. Like, sure, you can kind of leave them out at your home, but you should not hand deliver food to the raccoon, or else it will lose all danger sense to a human. It just, it's awful. Oh, man. Alright. But yeah. This has been an enjoyable stream. I enjoy talking with you. This is great. That song is better sung in a Scottish accent, actually. Mostly because Rip the Homie. Kingsman 2. The Kingsman series was a really good series. I feel like after they went with the Rasputin one, it kind of fell off because it was just, oh, okay, it's not gentleman secret society thing. It's, oh, hey, look, it's a prequel, right? And everybody's done a prequel. Star Wars has done a prequel. Everything in Disney has done a prequel. It's a bit overdone for my tastes. But yeah. This has been a very successful fishing stream. Like, I have caught so many fish, I've talked with so many people, it's been very enjoyable. I like this. I like this type of content, where I want people to be able to, like, put it on the background, kind of have, like a podcast, you know? Where they're not fully paying attention, but they're paying attention enough. But I also like the thought-provoking nature of it, right? Where I'm asking questions and I'm hearing responses, and I want to give back. I want to respond back. It's going to be an interesting situation. But I just like how every once in a while you respond with yes, yes. Like, it's like, yes, yes, go on. Go color your crayons. Joke's on you. I'm not coloring. I'm eating them. Green is my favorite. Little tart. Everybody says, like, red crayon is their favorite. I don't understand that. I've never understood the idea of red or blue being the best. I've always found that the secondary colors are the best. Like, purple. Orange is a bit weird for me. Purple, green. I think those are the secondary colors. But orange is definitely weird to me. I don't quite get it. Maybe it's a thing with my brain where, because it doesn't work with blue. Orange does not work with blue. Red works with green. Purple works with yellow. But orange does not work with blue. It's definitely interesting. Yes, purple is goated. But you gotta get that, like, deep, rich purple, too. You can't have this kind of, like, half-assed, oh, it's a little bit faded, you know? Like, oh, look, it's magenta or something. No, no, no. It's gotta be purple. You know what I mean? The royal purple that you had to crush snails from the ocean to get, right? I refuse to be a dry texter. That's fair. That's fair. No, but, purple is still one of my favorite colors. It's a shame that, certain events have caused me to hate the combination of purple and gold. But you add green in there, look. Welcome to the British, alright? Also, I don't know which one was named for. I'm pretty sure the color came first. And they just pointed at the orange. It's like, yep, that's an orange. Got it. Done. Easy. It's the same as its color, like a lemon. Which lemon is a color, mind you. But it, that meme, beautiful. Yeah, I like having conversations. It's great. As much as I hate to say it, around 1:30 my time, it's gonna be about time. So in about 8 minutes, I'm gonna have to get up and go because I've got family to meet with. And I implore everyone else to also meet up with their family. Even if you can't meet up with them, maybe call them. Maybe call up a friend if you're not too fond of your family. Just spend some time with someone today. We don't get breaks like this very often because, you know, we work more than a medieval peasant. But it's the small things. It's the living in the moment that counts, right? Just enjoy the people around you. You don't get that much time with them in the long scheme of things. So, enjoy yourself, right? Enjoy their company. That's a big one. A lot of people just don't enjoy the company of the people around them, and frankly, it's sad. I just always think that you should be surrounded by a community of at least like-minded people, right? If not like-minded, then like-hearted. Because they can think differently from you. That's easy, right? A lot of people think differently from a lot of people. But they should have the same core beliefs. Or, if you don't have the same core beliefs, you should be able to talk about it. And it shouldn't be an argument, it should be a discussion. Oh. Well, either way. Thank you all very much for watching. I enjoyed all of the comments. I enjoyed all of the stream. As soon as I figure out how I can, you know, put the chat into the actual recording, I will. Don't get me wrong, I'm I'm not exactly the best at this. I've just started. But thank you all. Yes, black is my top favorite color. No, it's green. It goes green, black, and then crimson. But thank you guys very much. I appreciate everything. Have a nice day. Happy Memorial Day. And remember, you guys got a loved one that died in combat or is in combat. Please give them your thoughts. That's all I ask for you. Everyone, have a nice day. Bar is closing.